What's up, y'all? What's going down, man? What's going down? Good to see you. What's happening? Uh Sorry, man. I didn't sleep good at all last night, and I'm just tired as fuck. I had the phone set up with my little red light and all my shit, and I was gonna do it, but we're just gonna have a little relaxed casual meet today. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a relaxed casual meet. Goose, what up, yo? It's cracking, man. Hey, share this live and all that jazz. Oh, Ange, what up, girl? Shout out Ange. Anna in the building. Fernie, what up? I know all dark. He's all dark and shit. Dog, is it too dark? Because I was over there and now it's I just don't want to fucking. Oh, there we go. Now we're opening up to camera. Open up to camera, dog. Open up. Now it's all fucking in my eye though, Fernie. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we'll do it like that. We'll do it like that. All dark. Sorry, y'all. Hey, I slept all shitty last night, so I'm tired as fuck. But what's up, man? Welcome to the Wildcard the Dragon YouTube joint. We are gonna do a little live today. I wanted to reach out and tell you thank you for watching the Soft White Underbelly interview. It's out now if you haven't seen it. Yo, John, what up, bro? Insert clever name. What's cracking, y'all? Good to see you guys. Soft White Underbelly interview was out. It came out Monday morning, I want to say. So it's been out for about 4 days. I really appreciate the feedback, man. If you didn't watch it, I'm talking about addiction and mental health, my own personal struggle with the shit over life. You know what I mean? And felt like I leaned a lot into the crazy side, but I just felt like it was something to be said. I was inspired to talk about the Capgras syndrome because there's a certain celebrity right now that's struggling with some shit. And, over the past few months, and I put something in their comments, like this is Capgras, like I suffered from this, and I got a bunch of feedback from that, and I was like, oh damn, I think I should tell like the world that shit, you know what I'm saying? So when I got the opportunity to go on Soft White Underbelly, I'm like, this is perfect, man, because there's so many people that struggle with mental health and dope and all that stuff. And hey Jennifer, what's up? Anyway, it was just time to shine. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all, man, coming through and watching that. If you haven't watched it, it's up on Soft White Underbelly, and it was a cool experience, man. I live in LA. My boy Riggy Mars connected me with the whole situation. You know what I mean? What's up, y'all? I appreciate you guys coming in here. And yeah, so I'm gonna try to go live a little bit more often. And I just wanted to give an opportunity to talk to people, in real time, man. And just say thank you, because I don't know, I've shared a lot of things that are, personal and crazy on the internet. You could get a lot of negative feedback too, so I just said fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Just be myself. That's how I talk to my homies, you know what I mean, when we're talking to each other and telling stories or whatever, or war stories, or how we can positively influence each other and stuff like that, you know what I mean. And so that's what I did. Also, before I forget, there's a big ass tour that I'm going on in August in the Western regions. So if you look at my page, there is a tour. I'm going with Swollen members, Locksmith, Ender One, and myself. I'm going through Las Vegas, Phoenix, Albuquerque, Colorado Springs, Denver, Sac, Reno, Auburn, Farmington, New Mexico. I'm going on a tour because I'm a hip hop artist and I make music. And you could check me out at wildcardqm.com if you haven't already, or at Wildcard the Dragon on Instagram. Anyway, so what's up? Let's get into these comments. What's cracking? Yo, yeah, I'll be in the 505, man. I'll be in the 505. I know, yeah, there was no Washington shows. Let's go, Yankees. All right, I see you, dog. What's cracking with y'all, man? Yeah, yeah, Anna, go check it out. Chase, what up, man? But I just wanted to tap in with you guys, man, and say thank you, man. Thank you for watching. You know what I'm saying? It's been awesome. You know what I mean? It's been awesome to tap into the world. You know what I mean? Because I share a whole lot, and I also wanted to tap in there I wasn't sure if you guys understood what I was saying, so I kept asking. You know what I mean? So that's just how I talk. But big old tour in August. Soft White Underbelly join out. Brand new single coming out July 3rd called Rocky Top July. It's produced by me and Smoke. When I moved back down to LA from Spokane, I traveled through one of my main producers that I use is Smoke M2D6, and he's in Tacoma. And we made a cracking ass show, cracking ass beat together. And then I went down to Jordan River Recordings in Glendale and recorded it first off as soon as I got here in like January. So hey, much love, Solo Dolo. Yeah, let's I'd love to see you down there, man. I played Albuquerque and Santa Fe in New Mex back in the day, so it'll be nice to go back and circle back, man. Circle back around, you know. Joe, what up, bro? I appreciate that, Chase. Yeah, it was meaningful to me too because we did that interview on May 5th on Cinco de Mayo is where I physically walked into the building, into the photography studio to meet with Mark and do the soft white interview. And that was Cinco de Mayo. And what is it now? It's like June 26th. Happy 626 day, you know? That's our area code where we are, you know? This homeboy's on the all right for show, you know what I mean? I'll beat through Phoenix too. But so anyway, it was Cinco de Mayo because I remember you signed the paper. Once you do the thing, you sign the paper, you know, and I was like, "What's the date?" He said it's Cinco de Mayo. Boom, 5/5/25 is when I walked into the building, and then it's been about almost 2 months. So I didn't know because then I start seeing like interviews like with Joe Rogan and Mark did on Joe Rogan that was popping. My friend Scott sent it to me, and it said, he shoots a lot of them and only uses a certain portion. You know what I'm saying? So then I was like, oh damn, I hope I don't hit the cutting room floor, So I didn't know I had talked to Mark a couple times after that, and he had said, it's coming, you know what I'm saying? I'm finalizing it or whatever, and then it finally dropped Monday. I woke up at like 6 a.m. to go to work, and boom, I already had a text from somebody that was like, I turned on my YouTube and there you were on Soft White Underbelly, and then I was like, that's awesome, man. It's out there. It dropped, and I hope it reaches people, because me as like a person who wants to be in the public light with my music and whatnot, if it, and I, what did I say to Ans? I'm like, I would love to have a Grammy, but I'll settle for talking about my meth addiction on Soft White Underbelly for now. You know what I mean? We gonna get in where we fit in, What's up, Gringo? I'm in the San Gabriel Valley, California. I'm in LA, the eastern part of LA County right here. I'm a settle. I was set. Hey, you know what I mean? Hey, I was heading for a Grammy. I'll settle for the Soft White Underbelly interview. You know what I mean? But hey, it was a meaningful experience. It meant a lot to me. I was nervous. I was definitely nervous, and but it was a cool platform to be on, man. And I was just so fucking like. So here's how it went down. Okay. Hey, I appreciate you, Trev. So my friend Riggy plugged me. Go check his interview out on there too. Steven Riggy Mars is the one who plugged me with this because he's been a close friend for a long time. He raps as well. We both rap, you know what I mean? And we're both San Gabriel Valley kids. So he went on there, okay? And then he plugged me with Mark. I said, what's up with that? He plugged me with Mark. I talked to Mark on the phone. Mark said, yo, call me tomorrow or the next day. And I just got to get like a phone screening to see if it's going to be a good fit on the channel or whatever. So I'm like, all right, so we get on the phone. I'm like, yo, I love your work. I'm a fan of that show anyway, so I'm talking to him and he's like, okay, so, what's the deal? So I'm like, okay, so I'm a recovering meth addict. And I had a lot of delusional thinking, and I talked about, so then I break into it. I'm like, I got into a thing. I might have hit a guy with a rock. I mean, I thought, my fucking parents were imposters. I did all this. I said all this shit right to him on the phone, and he's like, okay, let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's get it. Let's get you in here. Let's record it. So I'm like, all right. once I started talking about all that crazy shit, I felt a lot more confident, you know. So hey, much love, Kamloops. Shout out Canada, Gringo. Much love, yo. Hey, if you just joined right now, I know I'm saying. If you just joined, I also go on a big ass tour with Swollen members Locksmith and Ender One in August. So please go look at my website, wildcardqm.com. But more importantly, right now to see the tour dates, my Instagram is at Wildcard the Dragon. At Wildcard the Dragon. At Wildcard the Dragon, just like the name on this YouTube. But you can follow me if you have Instagram. Follow me over there. I always post every day, post daily, and I have the tour list right there of where we're going. So if you just joined, it's like Vegas, Phoenix, Albuquerque, Farmington, Denver, Colorado Springs, Fort Collins, Reno, Sacramento, Auburn, and shit, there's a lot of places, man. Forgive me for not, it's not right in front of me, but there's a lot of places that we're going, and that starts August. So there's 2 dates, and then I join on August 17th, which is in Las Vegas, Nevada, at Swan Dive. Shout out Legends Never Dave and Donnie Menace for putting that together. There's my boy Bat in there. What's up, Bat? Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Ange. Rose City April, I did a track with Riggy Mars. But Riggy put me in contact with the whole thing, and it made it happen. It's like a it's like a 2.5 week tour. 2.5 week tour that we're going on. But hey, I truly appreciate you. You know what I mean? Because if you do anything, you put yourself out there on the internet, there's negative feedback too, but there's so much positive feedback. And what I'm trying to do in my life is like not let that little shit get to me if, somebody's hating or they're not interested in the content or they are judgmental or whatever. I try to keep myself like out of that, man, because I could bite onto that and hang on to that. If somebody says something negative, I'll hang on to that shit. I don't want to do that. Like, everybody's not going to like me. Everybody's not going to like you. You could be the sweetest person in the fucking world. And for whatever reason, somebody's going through something else. So it's really easy for me to share this right now because, I want to appear like I'm not being false, but I want to appear confident and that I'm on point with everything that I'm saying, but when I'm alone or something, somebody's popping shit, like it'll fuck with you a little bit. It'll fuck with me a little bit, So this has been a cool lesson in just doing an interview on the internet and letting the comments fall where they are. And I appreciate my legion of people that are supporters and people that don't even know me or know my music that are chiming in like, thank you for sharing. I'm in recovery too, or I was affected in this way by this type of stuff. Like, I appreciate y'all, man. Like, it means the world to a guy like me, for somebody that sought support early on as a kid. And it just means a lot. I just want you guys to know that, So, Christian Rubin, what up? Yo, much love, Chasing the Dragon. So that's always my first song when I'm on tour. Hey, I appreciate you, Christian. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to tell me that right now. Thank you for telling me that right now. So if you guys haven't listened to my music, one of my best songs is a song called Chasing the Dragon, which came out on a fucking album called The Odyssey in 2012. And I always start every tour with that. You know what I'm saying? Every tour I have that song as the beginning because it's like a crazy showstopper. I'm trying to show the people that I'm just different than your regular average white rapper. You know what I'm saying? Or rapper in general. So I'm gonna try to set a good time, man. Hey, I appreciate that, Jonathan. Yeah, Locksmith too. Locksmith's on the tour. Bay Area legend, global legend, known for his freestyles and his verses and his songs and his battles back in the day. So it'll be us, man. It'll be me and Locksmith, Swollen members, Mad Child, Prevail, Rob the Viking, and my boy Ender One, who is somebody that I trust. He's also in recovery, and he's just like a good ass person and a good man, So I brought him onto onto the tour too, just to have that extra support. And he's an ill lyricist too, you know. Hey, I appreciate that. You heard that Block Island Sound joint, right? So that was another time for me that was a huge thing because I'm a huge Apathy fan, right? He was like my favorite rapper, you know? And I'm just driving. I remember I was working on Z Nation season 1 when I was in Spokane. It's a zombie television show. I was in the first episode. I get my head blown off, you know, by Harold Perrineau. So check it out. Season 1, episode 1. But Ange, what am I talking about? I completely forgot what I was talking about. Uh Oh shit. What was I talking about? Fuck. Oh, okay, the Apathy thing. So I'm driving listening to Connecticut Casual. It's like 2014, right? I'm just a straight up fan, yo. I'm a fan. Just boom. I remember driving to work. It was summertime. When I was living in Spokane, Washington, we value summer so much. If anybody's living in like the northern hemisphere or in a place where it snows and it's typically cold most of the year, like Washington State is, we love the fucking summertime. I mean, the whole city comes alive in Spokane. People are at the lake, you know, girls got their Daisy Dukes on, dudes are walking around, just fucking everybody's ready to go because the sun finally came out. You know what I'm saying? And oh, I appreciate that, Trev. I appreciate that, man. You know what? It's on my list, Respect to the Fallen, to get with Ari the Rugged Man. I have a song right now that I gotta get him on. It's just getting the paper, you know. He follows me, he knows who I am and that, but we don't know each other like that really yet. So it's just getting some paper and approaching the situation as a business person, like, boom, this is what I need for a verse. That's it. That's how it goes. That's how this indie shit goes when you don't know somebody. So I appreciate you, Bat. Okay, so then I reach out to Apathy, says he's doing verses. This is like 2014. I'm on the crew of Z Nation doing locations, you know. And I've loved this shit. For first song I ever heard from Apathy was Welcome to Assholeville. And that shit was crazy. If you like bars like me, go listen to that shit, right? So um so I hit him up. I say, boom, I got this money. I had some money at the time. You know, I'm making good money. I'm a union locations person in film, right? I'm a freelance film person. So I hit him up. Boom, I got some money. What's up with a verse? You know, and he's used to people hitting him up all day. You know what I'm saying? Like fools are like, "What's up? Can you get on a song?" You know, so I'm like, "This is what I got. This is the beat I got. This is my verse on it." And I shot him a song. The first song me and Apathy ever did together was called Witch Doctor, and it was a Lance beat. I had some Lance beats. I was rocking with Lance a lot at the time. And I had, if you ain't heard it, go check it out when when you're done. It ended up on an album called The War, but it was called Witch Doctor, and Apathy just got me on it. You know what I'm saying? He just went crazy, just Big Brother me to death on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I sent him the song with my verse on it, and I shot the money, you know, and then we hadn't even talked. This was just emails, right? And he sent the shit back in like 45 minutes to an hour. I remember I was sitting in my office. I had my desk, my MacBook Pro, all my shit was, that's how I used to write rhymes and shit. I had the desk, the two desks, and I really had my setup right then, So I'm listening, boom, it sends it. He sends it back. For an indie rapper to have your favorite rapper, send a verse of a song he's about to be on from you, was crazy. So it was like Santa Claus dropping some shit out, and he just went crazy on the shit. He was just psh. And I remember even putting my head down like, damn, he got me, dog. You know what I mean? So then I was like, all right, I got to go hard on the third verse. I got to go hard on the third verse. So yeah, sorry for that long tangent, but you guys are on here, and I appreciate you being on here, man. Come to Las Vegas, man. Hey, that venue is fire. Swan Dive is fire. I want to say it's Old Vegas right there, Main Street. I think it's on Main Street. Anyway, so yeah, man. But yeah, please follow me on my Instagram, which is at Wildcard The Dragon, and let me know. You know what I'm saying? Let me know how you're feeling. I got a gang of songs out. I've had a single out every month since 2023. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention, but there's been a song of my own every single month since the end of 2023. and nothing's changing this year too. I have like two singles out every single month until September, and then one single until the end of the year. And I'm working on a brand new album called The Secret Tape. So I'm an older head, right? I guess you could say in some circles I'm young to some and older to others, right? But I still enjoy having like an album piece, but I know that the times are changing, and I work with some good professionals that are like try the single thing. The single thing might do better than like an album. Because back in the day we would stay in the lab and then give you 17 tracks and then drop a single here or there or whatever, and now I just been doing song after song, and I see the difference in movement. I feel like I'm in full motion. So yeah. Let me see what you got. T Ravens. Hey T Ravens, I always see you on certain platforms showing me love, so I appreciate that, man. What's the question here? Okay, yeah, yeah. So no, probably not, Trev. Probably not, man. Let me see. Hold on, man. I get all over the place. T Ravens. Okay, so I'll have a note. So this is dangerous in one way also though. I have my phone and I have the notepad section in my phone. I will the only thing about when you're a creative, like for my type of creative, is that lyrics will come all day anywhere I am. I'll be at a restaurant. I'll be kicking it with a chick, like like I'm like whatever, like I'm somewhere that, and I might be at work. You know what I mean? And I gotta be like, oh shit, you know what I mean? I gotta fucking write this down, Hershey kiss and murderous and serving this and whatever the fuck it is, you know what I mean? I gotta write it down, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of something stronger, but I can't take this off. But anyway, lyrics will just come. It never stops, never gives up. So I take my phone out, I go to the notepad, and I type it in there. Boom, 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 boom. In a big ass folder that says random. Okay. It says like random 2025, June of 2025. I'll put them all in there, and now I have like a huge ass fucking folder. So now I'll make a new folder when I got a song, right? I got a beat or whatever I'm writing to. Boom, I'll copy 4 bars, throw them in there, go down. Oh, that bar's fire. Okay, boom, take that, throw that in there. Now I know this verse is gonna work, because it ends in 4 punchlines, and I'm a punchline guy. That's the music I enjoy listening to, that type of rap shit that'll surprise me with punches, and then I'll copy and paste a lot. Here's the only problem with that. If your phone breaks or you didn't have it saved properly or whatever, then you lose all that shit. I'm obviously from the era where we had notebooks and we write that shit down, but that was always a mess because it's like, oh fuck, what, it was in the blue notebook, it was in the fucking, it's written on the subway napkin, my hardest bars are on the back of this subway napkin that was in my pants that my girl threw in the fucking washer or something, you know what I mean? Like various things could go wrong, but that's been the most efficient way for me, is doing it that way. I don't know if that was like a long tangent or if that helped at all, but yeah. Let me see. I use notes and phone too. I usually use and search the type bar. Okay, but use different folders though when you're in notes. So if you want to write a song, like for instance, I got all these month songs with the month title, and my song for December is about the homeless, the fentanyl crisis, my experience working in a shelter setting for about a year and a half in Spokane. I worked at track. If anybody's in Spokane, I worked at track for a year, and then I worked downtown Spokane for part of that time as well. So anyway, I want to talk about that like experience a little, and like the people that gave their lives to help the medics, the street medics. They call them the street team. It's all these guys and girls that are like medical professionals that go out and help the homeless. The homeless are, fucked up on the street or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They have a direct line they can call. There's somebody with an abscess on their leg. They need medical attention. You know what I mean? Like these people are fucking angels of the street, bro. Like So many fucking people, man. I love my people up there. I couldn't take the weather and that type of work, and really the weather, and my mental health was just going bad. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get out of it and come back to LA to get into the sun. And I chose the right way, because look at all the things that have happened for like the last 5 months that I've been down here, like multiple cool ass opportunities just from being close to, um, you know, where things are popping like that. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Like that. So when I see, and then I'll see something like she said dinosaur, and then I'm like, dinosaur, diamond store, the vagina sore. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but like that's how my fucking head works. You know what I mean? Like what you rhyming for, the hymen tour. And I'll write down all that shit that rhymes sometimes. Or I'll have a thought of like I want to explain the thought, and I'll write down some shit. But that's how it goes. Exactly. The blackberries used to do that all day to me. But yeah. So what is a good day? I mean, I know you guys are gonna say a bunch of different fucking days, but and I can't even really I can't tell you I can commit totally to a day, but I need to get my YouTube life going. I need to get my money up on here. You guys can do super chats, all that shit. I'm not asking for it, but I'm just letting you know. I just want to come up with a designated time to talk to my people on motherfucking YouTube, so that it just keeps things popping, especially now with all the motion that's been happening. So I don't know. But let's talk about some other shit. What you guys want to talk about, man? The old question is, yes, there's two different acts that I really want to get on this next joint, and it's Coyote, LA Fools, LA Legends, right there. Ari the Rugged Man. I really want to get Ritz. I just don't know, like, until I really get something going. Um, if I can afford these cats. That's just the bottom line. If I get into the right situation, then definitely I will. Because, just like with the AWACS shit, I manifested that. I was just a fan listening to AWACS, manifested it. I want to get him on a song. I want to get him in a video. Just like with App and them, you know what I mean? I was like, fucking, I manifested it. I'm like, I'm gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Okay, hey, check it out. Respect to the Fallen. So that's a crazy story. Aquarius Blue. If you ain't seen Aquarius Blue, the video, and you live somewhere away from the beach, I really did that video for my people that couldn't find the beach, because that's like my old girlfriend from like fucking 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? That's like the homegirl that I knew from a long time ago, and she's pretty, and I'm like, yo, what up? You want to jump into a video real quick? And she's like, fuck it, let's do it. I always been wanting to jump in one of your little wild card videos, homie, because we used to like, make like home videos with all the homies, like back when we were youngsters. So that was a cool moment. The writing process is this, though. For that particular song, we were shooting a movie called 213 Bones in Spokane, where I'm locations. So locations my boss would scout the place out, and then I would be on set, middlemaning I would be the person that the crew would talk to if they had an issue with the location, and that the location contact would talk to if they had something going on. From anything from the fire alarm went off to they need to get into a certain door, to we have a hard out at 11 p.m. because there's something that's going to be happening in the building at 12, and I need to make sure everybody gets out. Like, I'm tied to the house. That's what I've done in the union work in my adult career, working in film. But we had Ange worked with me on there. So the library day, Ange, these kids are it's like a horror movie, and it's around a college campus. Okay, that's what the movie is. Not out yet. Rest in peace to Jeff too, the director. He passed away. And but we made a crazy movie. This was October of 2023. I remember it was cold as fuck, and late October, November. And we're at where were we, Ange? We were in Eastern, I think Eastern Washington campus, out there, Medical Lake, Cheney. Yeah, Cheney campus, right? And we had sometimes everything's fine and I don't get called all day. Literally nothing. We have walkie earpieces. They'll be like, "Hey, locations, you copy? Yeah, I'm right here in the library. Hey, could you come down here? We need some help, or whatever." None of that's happening. So I'm sitting there and I'm twacked out on coffee like I usually am. Okay, these old habits die hard. All right, it's not as detrimental to my motherfucking health. So I drank a big coffee. Now I'm like feeling myself, and I had time to sit in this library because they're doing like a kill scene downstairs in the library, and part of my thing is just I'm just upstairs making sure a lot of people aren't walking all over the fucking ceiling where they're shooting and all everything that's happening. I think that was what was going on. Anyway, and I started putting it together, man. Aquarius Blue. I started putting it together. I knew I had the rhyme schemes of all the Lucid me to D, you know what I mean? On the moonlit beach, a root to D, all that shit, and so I started writing it down. Boom. A horror movie is being filmed downstairs in this fucking library in this public college, and I'm sitting there, and then like a boss would walk by and checking on some maps, and then go back to my shit. And I was doing the Zodiac series at the time, and I'm like, what am I going to talk about with Aquarius? And I thought the first verse I'll just get off because the beat was crazy, and the second verse I'll talk about my first love, who was an Aquarius. She was born on February 1st, and I threw her in there, so I'm talking about that. Me and my first love were prisoners of war and all that shit. Sorry, man, I'm way behind on here. But that was the process. Took me fucking 90 minutes to tell you that, but that's some trivia right there. If you ever see the movie 213 Bones and you see the library scene, they're like in a downstairs library where there's like a body or whatever. I'm upstairs writing Aquarius Blue. Oh shit, Christian. Christian's hitting me with that deep right now. Pause. What is the first thing you would teach yourself if you were your father about the lessons you've learned navigating your interpersonal relationships with women? Oh my God, we got some fucking uh, psychologists and the psychological things I got to think about here. Now that I've done therapy, man, I attribute everything to like what I learned, how my attachment issues that started with, like my mom, like I didn't really like my stepdad. So when my mom got with my stepdad, I feel like my mom was taken away. I beef with my stepdad. So now I get older and I get with a girl and she leaves me and I'm like crushed, because I'm reliving this fucking thing of like my mom getting taken away, you know what I mean, by my stepdad or something, and she was there for me though. She was there for me, but part of me just is like really, really raw when I feel rejection, right? Like when I feel like I'm rejected. So really, what could I tell my younger self? There's sometimes here's what I would say. When you start seeing red flags early on, it's time to go. You know what I mean? Because I can't tell you how many times, and this is, I hope there's no fucking, youngsters on here where like the coochie's good or whatever, and everything else is fucked up, and I just stay because the coochie's good is not good enough. That is not fucking good enough. And if it's put me in so many bad situations where I'm rolling with a chick because like our romance is fire or whatever, but everything else is like you could just tell like we're just fucking fighting about everything. It's just not good enough. I'm too old for that shit now. But the problem is I would see things, even if it wasn't like sexual shit, but like I'm vibing with her and I like her a lot or whatever. I would notice something and be like, nah, it's fine. Where my intuition is telling me like, yo, this ain't the one. Like this, you're probably gonna get you in trouble somehow or something, or put you through some shit. And I would choose him, out of the wrong thing. Like I would know. So now I gotta erase this whole fucking video because I said too much. Yo, fuck, where you guys at? I hear you, Trev. Hey, that's what I mean. It's same thing though, because the rose-colored glasses can be thick. But here's the truth too, man. Is that I didn't trust I think like women in general, and I had been with some toxic ones, And so I thought they were all going to be like that. They're not all like that, you know? They're just not all like that, man. And that was a really huge realization, you know, is that like, you know, where'd you meet your first love? In the psych ward, like when I'm a youngster, you know? Okay, well maybe you guys are both going through some challenging times and it wasn't the best time to hit off a fucking romance, homie. You know, I mean, you know, things like that. And so then I would just be a player, right? And just be like, well, I you know, I don't trust her, I don't trust myself, all this shit. So let's just have fun and run off. Like I thought it was an you know, interesting when I started doing like the steps in recovery and shit. That when I'm a young ass kid, you know, I'm like, you know, yeah, I love you. Like, let's mess around, you know. And now I'm like, when I run into somebody or whatever, or up until, you know, not too long ago, I'd be like, I can't really be your man. Like, we can mess around, but that's about it, you know. And and at least like I felt good about it because I was like telling them that, but I was still acting as if I was like, you know, their man because we're messing around, we're having fun and all this crazy shit, you know. I don't know. Did I say too much? Anyway, that's what I can tell you about that. So also my sponsor said put a table between you and a woman when you first meet her. Like put a coffee table in between you guys, you know? And don't just jump into it because I'm always on some like, yo, let's get together, let's fuck around, let's just get crazy, you know. Really though, sponsors like put a you know go to coffee or something and talk to the person, see if you can even if you even want to talk to them, you know. And there's twice where I was sitting there, you know, in front of somebody that was like a potential person that I, you know, thought was attractive or whatever, and was like, nah, the vibe is whack. Like this isn't what I'm looking for. Like we're not really even able to carry a conversation, you know. So I think that saved the day a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Jessica, what up? Hey, I appreciate you, Jess, man. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching it. All I could ask is please share it, you know, if you haven't already, because I need as many people to see it as possible, you know, and I hope it reaches the right people. I hope it reaches the right people, and I know it will. And I know it will, because I've seen some cool comments already on the whole thing. All dark and the fucking red. Anyway, does that answer your question, Christian? Christian probably left the fucking room, Holmes. Christian's like, all right, man, you're saying way too much. Okay. Christian, are you there still? It's all D. So Christian's like, all right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate that. I'm gonna take a look at that, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I would trust my gut. I would trust my intuition. And there's a lot more than I know. I know, Jessica. Don't go. I can't hear. Look, let me just show you what it is. I got different lights for different occasions out here. Ooh, I've never used the yellow. Ugh, that shit's rough out here, homie. Jess, what up? Aha! I can hear my roommate listening to myself. Hey, Jess. Hey. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we're doing. But so I have a different little light. Look at also, I guess fucking. It's the Pac-Man joint, dog. Come on, bro. The Pac-Man joint. Anyway, but I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna dip here pretty soon, but I want to give you an opportunity to pop anything else. I really appreciate the supportive comments and just overall checking in, you know. So Rocky Top July though is July 3rd. As I shared in my post earlier, my favorite holiday is 4th of July now. So anytime you see fireworks or whatever, just know the little kid in me is excited. And especially being that we lived in Spokane. I lived in Spokane so long that, like I was saying, the summer brings the whole city to life. So when it's 4th of July, I fell in love with 4th of July because I was happy that it was fucking summertime. That's the bottom line. Hell yeah, battle rap, man. Yes, battle rap. Ilmac's the homie from a long time ago. You know, he's the homie from a long time ago. Because I rocked with Sam People and shit, Simple and them, Moby and them, because they were Portland heavyweights, and I was in Spokane trying to get game, and I was a fan of their music, Only One and all them. I got beats from Sapient and shit, right? So I was watching the Ilmac Thesaurus World Rap Championships off MySpace, and they would share the videos. You know what I mean? Start following Ilmac or whatever, and you start sharing the videos, and I'm seeing them. My favorite battle back then was Ilmac and Thesaurus versus Ham and Piff at night upstairs. Go check that one out. That's some 2006 gold right there. You know what I mean? If you ain't seen it. But yeah, I fuck with all them fools. Geechee, Rum, Big K, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to leave nobody out. And of course, man, I was never able to meet the man. I didn't know him, but Pat Stay, man, fucking rest in peace to Pat Stay. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was crushing. My boy Knothead texted me, and I didn't even know him, but he had such an effect on me of like, damn, that's a crazy motherfucker. Like his flows are crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and anyway, so yeah, so I'm definitely a fan of battle rap. You know. And what's the one that I just saw? But I don't watch it as much as I used to. But Ilmac at the Source and Disaster. Disaster was flames. One of my favorite joints when I was sobering up. It was summertime, I want to say, and they did the town business joint, and it was Disaster versus Danny Myers. Was crazy. Disaster versus Iron Solomon was crazy. Like, yeah, because them fools are still really on that punchline shit. And that's the type of rap that I like is that punchline shit, you know? I mean, obviously I like melodies, I like to sing shit, I like, I like cool shit like that too. But the boom bap barhead in me is all about some punchlines. And them fools are sticking to the code with that shit, you know? Gringo, yeah, man. Yeah, hey, I worked in the film industry since 2009, so I met a lot of people through that. You know what I'm saying? Like Ray Liotta, Christian Slater, fucking Johnny Depp was on a movie. What was that called? Lucky Them, I think. Yeah, that was called Lucky Them with Tony Collette. Like that was cool. As a kid who grew up watching movies and then, worked with these people was phenomenal. My favorite experience in film, I've had a lot of them, man, but Lee Turgeson, because I was driving him around and shit and kind of like assisting the whole production, and he was Beecher and Oz. And when I was a youngster, HBO had a prison show called Oz, even before Sopranos. And if you fuck with HBO at all, they are graphic, violence, nudity, wild. So it's a wild ass prison show called Oz. You can still find it on, you know, you could still find it, but it was like 97, I think was the first like 5 years, 97 to '02 or something. And I'm like a young teenager and shit. But he was one of the main stars. And then years later, I'm working with them in Washington on a movie called Desert Cathedral. So that was fire. So yeah, there's hella shit. You know what I mean? Like, and it's been awesome, man, because you know, like I can be starstruck too, but you got to be cool. Like you got to be cool when you're around these people. You can't be like, oh man, huge fan, man. You know what I mean? You got to be like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure. Excited for July. Ooh, and Jess is the sunny day in October joint is crazy. So here's the rundown of what's coming up. In July, I got two songs, Rocky Top July, and then a song called Paint. And then in August, I have one of my favorite songs is Rocky Top July. My other favorite song is Endless August. It's about my boys' home experience in Utah when I was 16. And then there's a song called The Maze in that same month. Then September Hollow, Sunny Day in October, Take Flight November. And I haven't figured out if I'm going to call it December Shelter or Shelter for December. If you have any input, let me know right now. Yeah, you know what it is. Respect to the fallen, man. Oh, yeah, and I'd be freestyling at shows. And just, yeah, rest in peace to Pat Stay. And recorded my last few shows, you know? Yeah, the Pat Stay disaster joint, Diz versus Dumbfounded. All right, appreciate you, Trev, man. I'll make sure to notify you guys. Where did you guys find out that this was going live? Was it on YouTube? Was it on Facebook, Instagram? Like where did you know to come to this? Shout it out in the comments if you don't mind. T Ravens, Oz was so fire, bro. One of my main memories, my mom's, right, used to bring me over to my grandpa's house because he had HBO. My grandpa would be asleep though, because Oz would come on at like 10 p.m. and shit. And we'd shoot over there and we'd get Foster's Freeze, like 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 milkshake kind of joints, like chocolate milkshakes and shit, and go over there and have the air on at his house, and watch the show, man. Man, I still think of that memory as like a just a genuinely safe time in my life. My heart was safe, my everything was cool. My grandpa was alive still, and my family was close. We were all in the same city. You know what I mean? It was just one of them times, man. So Oz is a big one for me because it's that time period that the show was playing that meant a lot to me. T Ravens, much love. Joe, what up, bro? Yeah, yeah. YouTube, okay, YouTube, Facebook. Oh, I know, Ange. I hear you, bro. Yo, respect to the fallen. I was rapping when the bling bling era was going down, So there'll always be ebbs and flows, yeah, I mean, I'm just like as a young artist rapping when that was popping on the radio is what I mean. So I always try to stay close to the lyrics, but I'm definitely trying new things too with the beats. What about hearing Wildcard on some more mainstream sounding beats once in a while? Shit like that is something I'm just open to whatever at this point. And with still keeping the integrity of like my lyrics and what I like to rap about and what I like to get down with. So but then like there'll be punches in my head that I'm like, that's not gonna get you on the radio, homie. That's that old wild card shit. But I can't fucking help it. I can't help it. I just gotta work it out. Um, just the bad words, Holmes. Just the bad words. Or cuete, wedo, all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I know a little bit. I can read it, but no, I don't speak it like that. I don't speak Spanish like that, was the question. Oh yeah, the Rip Mac shit. So that's Riggy Mar's brother Mooks put me on onto that joint. We did two dubstep songs. So that's something too. Like when I'm just so inspired when I'm down here, man. I mean, I'm inspired in Spokane too. Don't let me. I'm not talking bad about it. That shit held me down for so fucking long. The people up there love me, and I love them. But I think the weather really affected my mood and my mental health also. Other than all the years of fucking, mental abuse and dope and shit like that. But like, just let's just say it was the gloom instead. It didn't help. That when I came down here in the sun, boom, and then I got Jordan River recording. I got all these beats. I got all this shit going on. You know what I mean? Like I started popping out just single after single after single after single after single. And what I'll do too for any artists that are out here is I set up deadlines, man, like a weekly deadline. Okay, boom, I'm going to Andy's on Wednesday afternoon. Okay, and now it's Thursday, Friday. So for instance, this week I'm going to Andy's, which is the studio, on Saturday morning. I gotta have two verses done for the December joint by then. So before I did this live, I worked out the first one. Then I gotta go down and work out the second one. I know what I'm gonna say already, but I gotta weave the lyrics in right. And then boom, I go in Saturday, bow, drop that shit. Then move to the next one because I already got three other songs that I have an idea for that I got to start sculpting. And that's why you've been hearing so much music from Wildcard, is because I finally got on like full motion train of I can't wait no more. I'm not waiting no more to make a long ass album once a year to drop some shit. This is a different time period and I'm all the way with it. So I want you to hear my shit, my songs, and listen to my shit. And I used to make my fans wait, and I don't want to do that no more. So I'm in a cusp right now of like just putting out as much as possible because that's what the world wants and that's what the world's doing. That's definitely what the competition is doing. You know what I mean? So I just got to get it, man. I got to get it. Much love, squad. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm a 90s kid too. I mean, I was, grew up in the 90s, but born in the 80s, homie. What are you looking for, Jonathan? What joints, brother? Let me know because I got to decompress. I didn't sleep very well. I appreciate it. It was a great turnout today on this live, man. And it was trippy as fuck being on motherfucking soft white underbelly dog. And Rip Mac and the other one. Mooks and Chris. I think you look up Mooks and Chris because it's not my own song. You know what I'm saying? It was a feature I did. So Mooks and Chris. Look up Mooks and Chris. Wildcard, Rip Mac. What's the other song name? I don't remember what it is, but Mooks and Chris, I featured for them twice. They're dubstep cats. And the Rip Mac, so how he would do it, Mooks hit me up like, yo, I got this idea. I want you to talk about Mac Miller. Rest in peace to him as well. A true visionary. And he said, I want like a rest in peace to Mac Miller joint. So here's the beat and I want you to hit on these topics. Okay. And then I thought, okay, so the creative storyteller in me said, I remember listening to Mac Miller when I had a girl with me and a gun on my lap in the time period where Mac Miller was playing in the car a lot. So I started talking about that. And you know what I mean? And it was like a dubstep beat. So it was like boom, boom. So I'm like, Rip Mac, stab in the back with a gun on my lap and a brain to the tap. You know what I mean? I just said, now I got to start working it out. And anyway, so that's what it was. Yo, Gringo, I haven't been outside of Canada or US, man. I was supposed to go with Apathy and Self in 2018 to Europe, and I was struggling too much in life right then, so I didn't. I threw the deposit down to make it happen. I was ready to go. They know me. They were ready to, and I didn't make it happen right then. So I hope there's another opportunity, and I believe there will be if it's meant to be. Also, to follow up with that Apathy track, Witch Doctor, a long time ago, then he offered to have me on a tour, and he put me on his album the next year, which is that Block Island Sound joint with me, App and Locksmith, which is a huge opportunity for me. And you never know what the fuck is gonna happen. You just got to stay with your dreams, keep working, and keep manifesting these things, man. So that's my best. I don't know. It's my best way to say it, And it feels nice to be on a big interview like that because I've felt like hip hop's like side dude for like a long time, which is cool. I'm used to that though. I'm used to that shit. So in order to be seen, you know what I mean? To be seen by a bigger, platform, bigger legion of people, makes the person that feels like I haven't been seen, like it wakes up. And but all I know for sure is that like the people that have rocked with me for so long have always made me feel seen, you know what I'm saying? And when I'm making this music, I'm making it knowing that you're gonna rock to it and ride to it, even if we're not, 7 million deep or whatever, like you guys are truly like loyal to me and my brand, and that means the most to a guy like me for real. So just want you to know that, man. Yo, I did play Saskatoon, man. I did play Saskatoon, man. So the time that I played Canada, the whole country twice, was with Mad Child and Slain and the Brothers Grimm and Adlib for Mad Child's tour, The Lawnmower Man, in 2013. And we did like Vancouver all the way to Montreal and all the fucking spots in between, Toronto, everything. I didn't do the Scotia, I didn't do Nova Scotia and that, but you know, because I remember when I would travel Canada, I know the U.S. It's the first time I ever been to Canada. I'm on a tour bus and I'm like, all right, where the fuck are we? We're near Windsor. What's below us right now? And they're like, Michigan. I'm like, okay, now I know where we are, because I'm lost up there. Like, I don't know it like I know the states. So they would say, shit like that. What's below us right now? Montana. Okay, all right. Now I know where we are. You know what I'm saying? So, but I did play Saskatoon. That shit was fire, man. I got some native homies from there that still rock with me from that time period. And so yeah. 16, I was playing with it, right? The question is, when did I officially start rapping? 15, 16, right? 99, like 1999, right? I was rapping, I was playing with it, and I'd always written stories and poems and shit. I always was a writer. Like my grandpa taught me how to write real well and creatively, And then when I got sent away to this boys' home, there was a bunch of kids in there, and I wrote my first song. And it was like already I was on some emo rap shit because I was talking about how my dad wasn't there really, and it affected me. And I wrote a whole ass song, and then I started performing it for the other kids in there. We're ciphering, we're rapping. Shout out to my guy Jerome, was this black dude from Palmdale, the homie. He was dating this chick named Jessica who was in San Marino, and we're South Pass kids. So we had a bunch of friends. We were friends with the girls, and then her boyfriend was a rapper, and so I was rapping with him. I remember she had like a 1999 blue Beetle. You know what I'm saying? And we're blown on weed, sitting in this fucking Beetle, like five of us, stuffed in the Beetle with like the Dre beats or dropping all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Missy Elliott and the Eminem song. Eminem was popping, like all that was going on, in that time period. So, I knew that I could do it when I went through Utah, because when I came back, I had the confidence now. Now I had the confidence. Now I'm grabbing the mic at all these little ciphers and all. I'm smoking weed. I'm ciphering with the homies and shit. And Jerome's like throwing words. He's like, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to freestyle. And he would throw words out, and I would have to catch the words, Live Nation, thinking this Live Nation, or whatever, drinking this libation, and just like trying to think of that shit, And so about 99, man, 99. So what the fuck year is it? 2025? So yeah, like 26 years, right? About 26 years of this shit, and woke it up every fucking day thinking about it. So when I hit like a big platform, even though I'm talking about mental health and shit, like I'm like, that's great, man. That's great. Like, thank you, God. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for putting me in this position. Shout out to my dude Riggy Mars for putting me in that position. You know what I mean? And I'm appreciative of that shit, and I really, it means a lot. Especially if you've been an indie cat for a long time. You're like, is there a day that it's gonna blow? Is there a day it's never gonna blow? You know what I mean? As you get older, you think that shit, So I've needed to work a regular job to make money. Like I used to spend time where I would just only do the music and hope for the best, and it's so unstable. Like the money comes and it goes and it comes and it goes and shit. And there's just certain things I got to do as a grown up responsible man, And but music's been my main love through my whole life, which is why sometimes I'll be like, nah, I shouldn't, have a kid right now or whatever. Like, what if I blow? Like, I can't have that type of stress right now. Like, that's just what it is. Like I have a lot of friends that have children, and they'll say, I had to sacrifice, my life because I love my child so much. You know what I'm saying? And that's beautiful. And I don't know that. But I know that I've had to sacrifice that side of my life because I'm in love with my music so much. So it sounds like I'm on the brink of crying right now, but I'm really just tired as fuck. I'm like, "Ugh." But really, tell Amara I said hi. Yes, sir. If you haven't seen any of my music videos, go to wildcardqm.com. But yes, I will be a film director. We shot a bunch of music videos. I've wrote and directed all of them, except for the first two. My manager at the time, Mary Russell, put together with me. So the Odyssey and Suicide King Blues, we did that as a team. And then after that, I moved on my own with a lot of stuff, and then have the help of my friends and my loved ones. Goose, Ange, Victoria, Denise was in Cali Driver. You know what I'm saying? Joe, like all the people, like crew people that I met during in the film industry, helped me, helped me make some really strong videos. I used to play sports a little bit. I was more of a knucklehead. We were more like knuckleheads. We were like, you know, on that kind of on that crazy shit. But we played football in when I got sent to the boys' home. That was kind of like it was like a way to get the aggression out. Like if you had a problem with somebody, you would line up with them on the field. Um, just to be able to tackle them and shit. Because if you get in trouble in there, you get put in the ISO room and shit. So it's just young ass boys, man, with fucking problems at home, and then we got sent away. Like for sure, there's gonna be some aggression there. You know what I'm saying? And that was the way to do it, kind of like legally per se. No, I hear you, man. I hear you. It's all right, man. I appreciate you. Respect to the fallen. Thank you for always tapping in. I see you on here, and that means a lot. You're one of my team right here. All you guys, you're part of my team, man. So I appreciate you. Angela is like, now I got to see you play a sport. Okay. So let's put you in this fucking hockey uniform. Okay. Put the mask on. I'm like, I don't want to. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get out of here. Let me ask you something real quick. I'm going to watch American Horror Story, and I want to watch one of the older ones because I didn't see the older ones. Which one? And don't say Coven though, because I started that one and I couldn't get into it. And if not that, what's something else? What's something else? Like a thriller, horror joint, something like that. Squad, much love, yo. Fucking Angela. I knew you were going to say Coven. Angela got that witchy sprinkle. Watch from the beginning. Joe said watch from the beginning. What's the very first one, though, yo? Yeah, Hotel was tight. I remember Hotel. New York in the house or what? You saying New York in the house or what? Asylum, huh? Murder house. Okay. Maybe I'll fuck with that one. That's what's his name? Evan, right? Evan's in that one, right? Right, Jess? I can hear my roommate listening to this, but it's on a delay. So watch. Yes, he's in that one. Okay. Asylum was wild. I don't know. I've had some Asylum experience. You know what I mean? 1984, right? So that's my shit too. But I don't know why. Like when I turned that motherfucker on, I didn't get into it. I'm gonna try it though, and I'm gonna come back and tell you guys. I'm gonna report back. So right now, let's look at maybe Thursdays. Let's just try to do Thursdays. Try to do Thursdays at like 6 or 7, and I'll put it in the I'll make sure I'll let you guys know what up. Hey, Squad said shout out to Wildcard's roommate as well. She says hi. But I appreciate you, man. I'm open to love. I'm open to things in life. I'm open to the many things, and I've manifested so many things, and I'm doing the music, and I got so much music for you guys. Celebrate the 4th of July. When you see those fireworks, just know I'm a happy-ass kid inside, man. I appreciate you guys coming and fucking with me on this live. Please go watch the Soft White Underbelly interview. Please share it with your people. You never know who might need to see something about mental health or drugs or whatever. Or just for the entertainment of watching kind of like a fucking, just an interview, man, like something like that. It's some cool ass content, with the good message. And please come see me on tour August 17th to August 31st. I'm going to be running around with Swollen Members, Locksmith, and Inner One. And please say prayers that the motherfucking world will all love each other. Appreciate y'all.